Recording.
Hello, everybody. Jeff Koppel, Realtor, General Contractor. And today I'm going to put on the General Contractor hat because something came to mind. Here, I haven't worn this hat in a while, I guess. Something came to mind this morning after seeing a few homes I was showing over the weekend or potentially showing over the weekend. There was one that came up that I think it has some concerns about maybe the way it was renovated and the speed with which it was renovated and the amount of modifications that were made. So, if you're considering buying a home that's been renovated, how do you know if it's been done correctly? Well, one way to determine that is, of course, after you get it under contract, have some inspections done. The inspector will look for, major uh, errors, electrical, major systems, plumbing, roof, that kind of thing. Another way is to have a contractor like myself go out and inspect the home because, people like me, we've actually built homes from scratch and know how they should be constructed. So, okay, first of all, if you're looking at an older home, try to realize how that home would have been configured when it was built. Homes from the 60s and 70s were generally cut up into a bunch of smaller rooms that tended to have smaller kitchens, smaller bedrooms, formal dining, formal living room, dens. So there was a lot of boxes in the house. Over the years, people have decided that, well, kind of like open concept a little bit more. So a lot of these homes have been converted to more of an open floor plan. And that's fine as long as everything is done correctly. So let me go ahead and pull up some pictures of a recent home that I was looking at. Let's see here, just a second. Bear with me. Um, Basically, it was an older home that was under consideration by one of my clients, and after seeing the pictures of the renovated home and the speed with which that renovation was done, kind of had some serious concerns that maybe it might not have been done 100% correctly. So anyway, let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. Let's see here. Okay, sorry for that delay. Had to open the file. Okay, if you look at this, this was an older home that it's actually been through a couple of different renovations, but I thought I would show what it was on the initial purchase a few years ago. As you can see, it had a galley kitchen. And here's another view of the galley kitchen. And you can see here it had a wall that separated the kitchen from a dining area here. And then it opened up to this living room, fireplace and everything back here. And here's the extended living room. It looks like at some point uh, in the past, maybe an exterior wall was opened up here to take advantage of a covered patio space. As you can see a little bit of difference between the height of the floors here. But if you notice this header, it looks like it was done correctly. So from the initial, I think that's probably the only initial modification from, the original floor plan. And then you can see, that have one of the bathrooms here and this doorway entrance here. Remember this little archway wall just for future pictures. So then the house went through its first renovation. And if you notice, what they've done is they've just spruced it up. They've cleaned it up, made repairs and things like that. You notice here this arched opening wall is still in place. Looks like they've done some floors. Bathroom, the configuration's the same. Looks like they put in new countertops and painted the original stained cabinets. And then if you look at the kitchen, it's still the galley kitchen configuration. They've done countertops and backsplash and painted the original cabinets. You notice the wall separating the kitchen from the dining area is still there. And then here's another view from the looking into the kitchen from the dining area, you can see that again, original cabinets just been painted, updated counter and backsplash. And then we go down to the current state of the property. Now, here's the kitchen area. So remember, this was originally a galley kitchen. And this galley kitchen had gas lines, electric lines, everything in this wall that was right here. And this also this wall that used to separate the kitchen from the dining area has been removed. Now, my concern is that these walls that have been taken out more than likely were load bearing. And in order to get the flush ceiling like this, all the ceiling joists would have had to been cut, and then a header would have had to been basically run from this wall to this wall to support this whole area. So that would have been a laminated beam. That would have been a glue lam or engineered beam that would have been put in there, because that's a considerable span. And if you look at this little wall that was by the front door, that's been removed also. Remember, it had an arched opening in the original pictures? That's also been removed. And again, you know, there was a wall here in this galley kitchen, and the wall that separated the kitchen from the dining area was over here. So basically, these columns, as you can see, they now carry the light switches and probably also the gas line that comes into the cooktop here. And then it's got a vent hood here. One concern I had when I looked at the outside of the home, I didn't see a vent stack for this vent hood. So in other words, there should be a stack sticking up through the roof of the house to actually ventilate this. And I didn't notice that. So if we look at the rest of it, again, there's been some modifications to the bathrooms, plumbing modifications and new tile and everything. Same with the other bathroom, all new tile in the bathroom and new plumbing fixtures and new tile in this bathroom as well. So here's my concern with this home. During this current iteration of renovations, basically it was purchased, and 2 months later it was put on the market for resale. That's an extremely fast timeline to have done all the renovations that are pictured in these photos, to have done them correctly. So I would be concerned on this home. I would look at it, look at all the structural issues to make sure they're all done correctly. I would also look at all the plumbing and electrical changes that obviously had to occur because walls have been taken out and moved. And lastly, I would look at the plumbing, because both of the bathrooms and the kitchen have all been modified with plumbing as well. So I would really go over this property with a fine-tooth comb because it's had some major renovations done. Not to say that it couldn't have been done correctly, but the aggressive timeline that they operated under, I would really have a hard time imagining, because to do the kinds of framing corrections that they would have had done to do it correctly, this would have had to have been, stripped to the studs, basically, at least in the areas where the walls and everything were removed, because it's structural framing changes. So anyway, this is a good example of how a home has been opened up from its original layout, and just something to pay more attention to if you're considering one of these older homes that's been renovated in this fashion. Really need to look at it closely, and it's a really good idea to work with somebody that has extensive construction knowledge like I do. I'd be more than happy to help you guys if you're looking at an older home. I'd be more than happy to represent you as your realtor / contractor. But anyway, I hope this video is giving you some information about when you're looking at older homes. And as always, I'm always looking for ideas for videos. Just go ahead and send your ideas to jeffkoppel@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to see you in the next video. Have a good day.